Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, a stone skip from the Rocky Mountains. The perfect place for outdoor adventure thrill seekers.
That ain't us. But here's the deal, we're never not gonna try something new.
So that's why Denver popped out at us as we were considering our next trip. Aside from getting a little bit outdoorsy, because I feel like that's a Colorado requirement, we're gonna find some things that make Denver truly unique.
So here's the deal. We got planes. We got trains. Wild animals and bass of beer. Yeah, you heard that right. But we really don't know much about Denver, so we're excited to see where the adventure will take us.
All right, it is time to book our next trip. Since our last trip was in Mexico City, I'm thinking of throwing a domestic trip into the mix. And there's one deal on FareDrop right now that is particularly catching my eye because it's a state that we've never been to. And honestly, probably not one we would have prioritized visiting in the near future, not because it's not beautiful and there's not a ton of things to do, because there definitely is. I just don't know why we would have ended up in that state. And that's the thing I love about FareDrop. It really gets your travel wheels turning of like all possible trips and destinations that you might not have considered. So here's the deal. Delta Airlines, nonstop, round trip for $138 to Denver, Colorado. We have about a 2.5-hour flight out of Seattle, which is one of my favorite places to fly out of, especially when the weather is clear, because you can see all of the mountains and volcanoes. All right, we've arrived in Denver. We didn't check any bags, so we should be able to get out of here pretty quickly. You said it'd be between C and D.
This car is in the furthest spot it could possibly be. What is this, C, D?
We're renting through Turo, which is essentially like an Airbnb for cars, which is great, and the price was incredible. And our host is so sweet, but dang, she gave bad directions to get here. I was messaging her and she's like, sorry, I haven't like tried getting to the lot like from the airport, so she didn't really know like how to tell us while walking, but we made it.
Ain't she a beaut?
No, she's a Buick.
No, she's a beaut.
Oh, this is nice. That is the tiniest bed I ever did see. So this is $108 a night, which makes my budget heart hurt a little bit, just because this is a hostel. In cities like this, location's going to overtake budget for us, but we are right next to the Capitol, Denver Pizza Company, tacos, burgers, everything. So that is very exciting. We don't have our own bathroom here. It is a shared bathroom, but it is right across the hall. Someone's gonna yell at me for lying on the bed in my airport clothes.
Probably.
I think before Tony and I started traveling together, Tony thought hostels were like just Murderville.
Let me explain. And I got my shirt off, so I'm not on camera. But so I saw the movie Hostel when I was in like high school, and it traumatized me. So ever since then, I have never wanted to stay in a hostel.
And now you've stayed in so many hostels and you've never been murdered yet. Yeah. So it's fine. I'm not like them, you can include this song.
Denver is known for their beer and their breweries, but where we're going now is going to get us up close and personal with beer in a way we never have been before. Because this time, we're gonna be bathing in it.
Hope you enjoy. Thank you.
So this works. Each screen here controls the 2 taps underneath of it. So always just make sure the right drink, the right beer there, and that number on the bottom left-hand corner goes to your corresponding tap.
Let's get excited. 3, 2, 1, step on it.
Whoa. Cool. Wow. Oh my gosh. We have 90 whole minutes in what I can only describe as heaven on earth. Can you see the fit? Ooh, ooh, stunner, ooh. Step 1, we need to warm up with 20 minutes in the infrared sauna. Step number 2, a cold shower, which I will let Tony show you.
And step 3, the beer bath.
If it looks like I'm in a state of euphoria, it's because I am. We just finished at Oakwell Beer Spa, and it was the highlight of my life. Tony and I are not necessarily spa people, but we are beer people, and I think we are definitely beer spa people because that was incredible. Maya, Devin, Daniel, and Paul helped us out today, and they were amazing. Also, the water itself of the tub is not beer, so he made sure to say you're not floating in like Coors or Michelob Ultra.
There is no actual real fermented beer in the tub.
Okay.
They'll put a straw in here and drink it, okay?
Okay.
What we have instead is this giant tea bag that's packed full of hops, barley, and our herb of the month.
It is water with hops and some herbs, I think, and yummy smelly stuff.
With the beer spa wrapped up, we headed back relaxed and ready for bed. Day 1 is in the books, and today was kind of a chill start before we start the other stuff we have planned around Denver.
This morning we're driving 2 hours south to Cañon City. Now, Cañon City obviously isn't in Denver, but we were told there's something we absolutely had to do if we had the time. Choo-choo! All aboard!
Go up here to the right, go through this car to that second dome.
Okay. I always get nervous with train doors that I don't know how to open them. This is the Royal Gorge Railroad, an incredible way to experience the Colorado Rockies that doesn't involve a single hike, if hiking isn't your thing. Welcome to the Dome Car. There is the Dome Car, Coach Class, and First Class. I don't know how much First Class costs. This Dome Car cost us $120, and then Coach Class is $90. Do note that if you're traveling in a pair, you'll be sharing a table with 2 new friends you've never met before. The Royal Gorge Railroad is continuously named a must-do in Colorado, and it's clear to see why. This is the spot. We shouldn't have paid for the dome tickets because we can just stay out here the whole time. I was expecting like hair flying, like more speed. This is like so leisurely and nice. My hair's not in my face at all. It's like sometimes you get to places in life and you're like, this is just like Disneyland. This is just like the railroad ride at Disneyland, but it's real life. I feel like when we go to Paris, be like, wow, it's just like Vegas.
Uh-oh.
Bridge.
I didn't even see that. How much would someone have to pay you to bungee off of that?
A lot of money because I'm not doing it.
So it's a little less than 2 hours round trip, which really it's just like an out and back. You'll go one way, you'll stop for a little bit, and then you'll head on back.
The views from this train are epic, and the train staff aboard did a great job of pointing out notable sights and any wildlife along the route.
Standing right back there on that hanging bridge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That was very cute. Definitely get the cheapest seats and then just stand outside the whole time. But yeah, that was, I think, worth the trip from Denver.
Well, we got drinks, but we didn't get food. It was kind of pricey, so we're gonna try and get some ice cream now. We'll probably get real food too, but there's a pretty popular spot in Denver called Little Man Ice Cream. We're actually gonna go to a different location because the original location is like in that lower downtown Rhino area, and I think we're filming quite a bit in the area, so I'm gonna try to force us to like explore a little bit more of Denver. Plus, this location looks pretty cool. So I was curious to know why there was an airplane here. Apparently there used to be an international airport, and it is modeled after Lockheed Martin's Constellation, also known as Connie, which was like the first passenger pressurized airplane, which is kind of cool. So this is like serving as a tribute to the celebration of the joy of flight.
You know what else is a celebration of the joy of flight? Booking your flight deals through FareDrop.
Shameless plug.
Can I try the buttermilk cupcake?
Any other tasters for you?
You want a taster?
Thank you.
In here.
So they have a bunch of different flavors and they're all airplane themed, and they have sorbet and vegan options too, which I probably should get, but I'm not going to. Thank you. This is kind of ridiculous.
What'd you get? What is it called?
Baked Alaskan Pop with toasted meringue marshmallow.
Do you know what kind of ice cream's in it?
Don't. Probably vanilla. Hope so. I don't know. We'll find out. Chocolate. The marshmallows everywhere.
Keeping up with our dairy theme, we're headed to the dairy block.
This is kind of cool. It's just like this long alleyway and there's a bunch of restaurants and shops all along it. But even still, it's just kind of cool to walk through. Ooh. The lights are little dairy bottles.
And this is something we're coming to love about Denver. There seems to be so many fun and characteristic pockets, like this one. Well, maybe not this one. Okay, enough playing around. Let's get some beers.
We found this brewery, and I actually heard about this brewery. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but they have a beer that is Rocky Mountain Oysters. Sarah, do you know what Rocky Mountain Oysters are? Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout made with Rocky Mountain oysters, sliced and roasted bull. It is supposed to be like a chocolate, coffee, and nutty flavor, and I think the pun is intended in the nutty flavor.
I just asked Matt, our waiter, and he said, well, he called in assistants to verify. The name of the brewery is pronounced Wynkoop, but the street it's on is Wynkoop, but it's spelled the same. But they didn't want wine in the name, so they changed the pronunciation to Wynkoop. Belgian strong golden ale. It looks like it's like a strong pour of like scotch. Oh my god.
Strong?
Oh, it's 10% malt backbone to stand up to the high alcohol. Sorry to interrupt, but I am really excited to share this. FareDrop is currently on sale now, like right now, for 50% off of your first year from now until May 27th. We have saved nearly $700 on the 2 trips that we've taken with FareDrop so far, which means with this sale, the FareDrop Pro Plan would have paid for itself 14 times already. FareDrop Pro Plan members get sent an unlimited amount of deals from up to 10 departure airports to over 250 destinations. And if you're only interested in certain destinations or you can only travel at certain times during the year, Pro Plan members get the added perk of customizable deal preferences so that you're only getting the best FareDrops relevant to you. See this QR code? Scan that or head to the link in our description if you don't like overpaying for flights and want to save more money on your next trip.
This morning we're attempting to do something we've never done before. We're gonna try whitewater rafting. We were actually supposed to do this a couple of days ago, but they called us to tell us that the water levels were super low and we had to reschedule.
Our river conditions are very low right now, unreasonably so. We can't run the intermediate trip as planned tomorrow.
Sara actually signed us up for the intermediate course even though neither one of us has ever been rafting before, so this should be interesting.
My thought process was the age limit for the beginners was 7 years old, and the age limit for the intermediate was 14. And I'm 30, so I feel like my odds are pretty good. For this particular excursion, we're heading out on the Colorado River with the Colorado Adventure Center. Our 3-hour intermediate rafting trip is costing us $89 per person, and thankfully they set you up with everything you need. Wetsuit, life jacket, and a trusty helmet.
Ow, it's my face.
The intermediate rafting trip is taking us through class 3 and 4 rapids. We had a safety briefing, a quick rafting demonstration, and then it was time to hit the water.
Pull back. Here we go.
Keep going left.
Wow.
Keep going.
How you feeling so far?
Good.
We should have a little bit of time.
Don't want to get too confident.
4, 2. Forward, come on. Yeah. It's a little intense. The view's nice though. What you think?
Sick.
Definitely need to have a little bit of core strength, but that was fun. We got stuck a couple times.
That was sick.
That was so cool.
That was really cool. I'm all about like adventure, but in a controlled way. So I feel like a badass, but I'm never like super nervous or anxious. And I think that was perfect.
Shout out to our guide, Tommy, too. He did an excellent job.
I don't know why I did that. Can you say that again?
He was really good directing us and making sure us amateurs didn't get too distracted and too lost. So that was really fun.
He did compliment our paddling.
He did compliment our
paddling. I'm going to take that to heart for the rest of my life.
Our drive back took us past Red Rock's Amphitheatre, and this was something we actually wanted to see earlier in the week, but things just didn't work out. But as they say, no trip to Denver is complete without making it to the iconic Red Rocks. So we stopped for a detour.
Well, we made it to the famous Red Rocks Amphitheatre. This was on the way back from our rafting trip, so we stopped in here now. We can't really explore because there's a graduation going on that we kind of just waltzed into, and I am not dressed for our graduation ceremony, but it is beautiful.
There's Denver all the way there, that little speck somewhere out there.
So we've had a relaxing spa experience and a picture-perfect trip through the Rocky Mountains. I say it's time we shake things up a bit.
And if you've ever wanted to just go into a room and break a bunch of stuff, this spot is for you.
We've never done a rage room before, but this is what they're calling the armory, so we get to pick all of our different weapons. You get your helmets, your gloves, your coveralls.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. Then you pick your weapons and you go over to the rage room and you can smash all kinds of things.
All items need to be broken across this wall, so whenever you're batting, just bat towards the target, not towards these three walls. Okay. Please avoid our door, light fixtures, and don't intentionally try to do any structural damage to the facility. And it's just like we gotta say that, but unfortunately common sense is not as common as we like.
Yeah. This is so ridiculous.
I'm not in a raging mood.
This is our aftermath. I think we did some pretty good damage for 20 minutes.
That was crazy. Tell me how 20 minutes in a rage room was more tiring than whitewater rafting down Class 4 rapids. But we just did 20 minutes in there. It was exhilarating. They have a lot more things you can add on, like crates of glass and more windshields and electronics. They also have a splatter room, which looks so much fun. And you essentially have like paint-filled balloons and water guns, and you can just like wreak havoc with paint in an empty room. And it's like glow in the dark, which sounds so cool. But I was chatting with the staff there, and they said that they were actually #1 in the country. I had no idea, but after visiting, I can totally see why. It was so much fun.
I won't say it was a surprise that Denver was a lot of fun, but we definitely enjoyed ourselves here a lot more than we thought we would. That said, we got time for one more stop before we can catch our flight back to Seattle.
Oh, look at the fairy dogs are running. Look at it. Oh my God.
So we made the drive out to the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Reserve. This is a weird area. Most of it's super industrial, and then you have like a housing complex, and then right in the middle of all that is this huge wildlife reserve. But already here we saw like prairie dogs, which I've never seen prairie dogs before, and Sara lost her mind a little bit.
People from who live in the country are probably laughing at us. We're just some city folk, okay? We haven't seen a lot. Look at that one. Oh, they're so cute.
So when you get to the Refuge, they have this wildlife drive you can do that takes you through an area where all the bison roam free. There's supposed to be like 200 or so bison here, plus there's more prairie dogs, and that makes Sara kind of happy. The drive takes you on about a 10-mile loop around the area, but you do have to drive carefully because aside from the occasional bison crossing, people stop frequently. Oh, and you can't get out of your car on this drive either.
The hind legs hit back.
Yeah, I just saw concentration on his face. Denver has been incredible this week, but now sadly we have a flight to catch, but not so sadly because we have to get ready for our next FareDrop trip. So don't forget to sign up for FareDrop now through the 27th. It is 50% off. Someone's gonna yell at me for lying on the bed in my airport clothes. All that rage back there, it's every negative comment we've ever gotten in 20 minutes.
What's a prairie dog sound like?